Hi, I'm Ray, ChubbyRay Comics. I don't buy single issues. I buy trade paperbacks, I buy omnibus, I buy collected editions. I love them. I love talking about them. In fact, today's entire video is about thanks. I wanted to do a list of things that I am thankful for in 2025. I was a radio broadcaster for over 30 years. A lot of you probably don't remember radio because it really doesn't exist anymore. Not the way it used to exist. So I started doing a radio show online that gave me a lot more time at home and a lot of time to do things I really loved, like reading collected editions, reading comics more. And since I had my new hobby of collecting these comics, I wanted to start talking about it. So I started making these videos earlier in 2025. I never really considered myself any kind of creator. I just considered myself someone who liked talking about comics. So I started doing it on TikTok very early in the year, and eventually I moved over to YouTube to start doing content there. And since this has happened, I've met so many amazing people. I've gotten so many amazing comments. I've had great conversations with people, and I'm just so thankful for a lot of things, and I wanted to share with you the things I am thankful for. So I came up with a top 10 list. Amazingly, there is no honorable mention. I had to cut it down to just 10, so let's start. Number 10, Charles Soule and his compendium Letter 44. I like Charles Soule. I liked his Daredevil run. I loved his Star Wars and Darth Vader runs. I thought it was fantastic. I loved his work with Scott Snyder on Undiscovered Country. I liked Charles Soule a lot. So I saw this book and figured, well, let's buy this. And it's about the 44th president of the United States. So it's got that West Wing kind of feel. I love the TV show West Wing. It's also about 9 astronauts traveling in space and the badass mission that they're on. It has to do with the conspiracy behind it, how they actually took this mission, all the background, and what they're doing. It's realistic science fiction matched with political drama. And since I've read this book, I can't stop thinking about it. It's such an amazing book. I know I just talked about it in my If I Could Only Keep 5 Independent series video, but I wanted to mention it again. Letter 44 is a fascinating book, and I can't stop thinking about it. It's really, really good. Number 10. Number 9 is one of my favorite active writers and the amazing work he's been doing. I'm talking about Joshua Williamson. His Green Arrow run was so good. His run with Mahuel Pan on Green Arrow was really underrated. I thought it was some of the best books we saw this last year. Against the Wall, Reunion, and Family First were 3 great volumes. This also explains the whole Absolute Power storyline. I'm also grateful we got Joshua Williamson's Flash Omnibus Volume 2, which was fantastic. We not only saw Barry Allen, but we saw Wally West return. This was the quickest I read an omnibus this year. I loved this book. We also got Williamson's amazing Superman with art by Dan Mora, and Williamson and Mora work great together. And when I think of Williamson, I don't just think of these collected editions. I think of the fact that he's working on the KO stuff right now and how great a year he's had, and the fact that Joshua Williamson just announced he's doing Iron Man for Marvel Comics, and he's bringing back my favorite book of all time, The Legion of Superheroes. I am so excited. Joshua Williamson, one of my favorite writers, writing my favorite book and coming out next year. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Number 9, I'm thankful for Joshua Williamson. Number 8, how about the Philip Kennedy Johnson Superman omnibus that came out? This was amazing. This omnibus was written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, maybe some of his last DC stuff, as I hear he's going over to Marvel exclusively now. It also had Superman, the Authority, the whole Superman family, and Warworld, which included Warworld Rising, which when I look back at 2025 might have been my favorite story of the year. A strange alien ship comes to Earth. It lands in the Atlantic Ocean near the United States. So Superman goes out to claim it for the United States, but Aquaman is claiming it for Atlantis. It leads to a standoff between Superman, Aquaman, the United States, Atlantis. It's really a fantastic story. And that's just a small part of this omnibus. If you haven't gotten this omnibus, I recommend it. It's Superman by Philip Kennedy Johnson, Volume 1. We also got the Summer of Superman and a great Superman movie. Thank you, James Gunn. It was fantastic. And you got me an excuse to buy this without my wife wondering why. And the last cool thing about Superman, Absolute Superman. Jason Aaron and Rafa Sandoval's. What an epic story this is. It's still Superman from Krypton. It has Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, all the regulars, but they're all coming from different scenarios. Absolute Superman is awesome. That's number 8. Number 7. Speaking of absolutes, how about Absolute Batman, Scott Snyder's masterpiece? It's so much better than I ever thought it would be. Nick Dragotta's amazing art, the new Batsuit, a new origin, characters in different situations, and still a badass Batman. What Scott Snyder's done with this Absolute Batman book is amazing. He's created a whole new world we all want to be part of. Number 7. Number 6. And I mean this one from the bottom of my heart. I really do. I am brand new to this world of video content on social media talking about something I love. But I have felt welcomed by this community. And I've felt welcomed by someone who I consider the GOAT of doing comic content on social media. And that's Omar with Near Mint Condition. So I'm thankful for Omar. And I wanted to say that I would hope if I was in Omar's position that I would be as gracious and fantastic as he's been to me and others like me. I mean, let's face it, he's the GOAT. His followers on YouTube alone, his followers on TikTok, his content is so good. I go back and watch old episodes over and over again just so I could see what he's talked about. I love the stuff Omar's done. He's been an inspiration to me, but I'm also thankful for him because I reached out to him and we have corresponded over email, and what a great guy. When most people would have just said, F you, Chubby Ray, Omar didn't. He welcomed me to the comic book community and has been a great person. So I wanted to thank Omar and Mel and everybody involved with Near Mint Condition. What you guys do is special. You are the GOAT. Thank you so much for your inspiration. I am thankful for you. Please continue doing what you do because you are setting the goal. You are setting the pinnacle for all of us who are doing comic content. Omar from Near Mint Condition, number 6. Number 5. Of the top 10 things I am thankful for in 2025, Batman Omnibuses. Starting with James Tynion's Batman Omnibus. This was so good. It included one of my favorite Batman stories of all time, Their Dark Designs, in oversized goodness. This also included Joker War, the debut of Clown Killer, Ghost Stories, and the debut of Ghostmaker. We got to see Tim Drake as Batman's Robin again. Then we got Mariko Tamaki's Detective Comics Omnibus. This was fantastic. Mariko Tamaki's great stories with Dan Mora art, kicking off with The Neighborhood. We saw Bruce Wayne back in jail. Just great stories in this omnibus. We saw The Huntress again, and what a great supporting cast in this book. We saw Mayor Nakano, and great stories involving a tower to help the criminally insane. Plus, we saw hard-drinking Deb Donovan got her journalism and her daughter. Mariko Tamaki's Detective Omnibus was fantastic. Highly recommended. And of course, we got the awesome War Games, which I loved. We saw Stephanie Spoiler become Robin. We saw the return of Tim Drake. And we saw a great story about gangs fighting in Gotham City and how Batman would stop them and how things get screwed up when there's really not good communication. War Games, a fantastic omnibus, which I also highly recommend. We also got Tom King's Batman Omnibus, which I haven't even taken the plastic off yet because it's been such a great year. Batman Omnibuses, number 5. Number 4, my annual reads. There are books that I read every single year, and I love them. They're great. Every year, I do a read-through of the entire Ed Brubaker Captain America run. It's so good. It's the whole creation of the Winter Soldier, how they brought Bucky back. It's got the Red Skull. It ties in with Civil War. The first book ends terribly. Then you got the death of Captain America, the return of Captain America with Captain America Lives. But most of the time, Captain America is actually the Winter Soldier. So we have the trial of Captain America. And then it wraps up with the return of the Winter Soldier. Ed Brubaker is one of my favorite writers. And I love going through all these Captain America omnibuses every year. Speaking of Brubaker, it's never a bad idea to go through the Daredevil Brubaker books as well. My other annual reads, Green Lantern Volume 1, 2, and 3 by Geoff Johns. These are so fantastic. Every year I gotta fly through these books. I wish I didn't have to, but I have a sickness. And every year I feel like a little kid reading it for the first time. Next year they're putting out Green Lantern compendiums, which means I'll have a brand new series of books to read. Supposedly they're mapped different and have some things that weren't included in the omnibuses. I'm pretty excited about it. Another annual reread for me is Hush, which this year I got to read in absolute format. Super-sized Jim Lee art in a great story. That was a one-night read I'll never forget. That was one of my highlights of the year. Annual rereads, number 4. of the things I am thankful for in 2025. Number 3. The best omnibus of the year, Nightwing. This was so good. Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo's great run on Nightwing. This was such a great read. I love Nightwing. I love Nightwing stories. And I'm such a huge fan of Tom Taylor. This was fantastic for me. And I know I wasn't the only one. I know most people that read this book loved it. I think it's the best omnibus of the year, Nightwing. Number 3. Number 2. I'm thankful I pre-ordered this book because although it's not out of print, it's out of stock everywhere. X-Men Blue and Gold took the omnibus world by storm. And if you didn't order it early, you probably didn't get it and you're going to have to wait. X-Men Blue and Gold Mutant Genesis is the Jim Lee drawn stories of those early 90s. Those are great times. And this is a great omnibus and I'm so happy that I pre-ordered it. Also, I'm thankful for all the Brian Michael Bendis omnibuses that came out in 2025. Like All New X-Men. This is when the Beast brought the original X-Men back from the past. And it was great stories of these new X-Men trying to relate to a future that they had no idea was going to look the way it does. It had the young, sparkling Jean Grey. It had the young, confused Cyclops with wondering how he turned out to be what he is as an adult. We saw Young Angel, Young Iceman. We even saw Miles Morales' Spider-Man. Plus we got New Avengers Volume 2, finally, which furthered the New Avengers stories from Bendis' run in the early 2000s. You know, the run that set up Civil War, Dark Reign, Fear Itself, Secret Invasion, the Illuminati, and so much. And so many other Marvel staples. New Avengers Volume 2 is great. Then we got Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 5, finally the conclusion to the Ultimate Spider-Man run. And this one doesn't have a title of the book that gives the whole story away. Last but not least for Bendis omnibuses, we just got the Uncanny X-Men. What a great run. And this sort of runs alongside that all-new X-Men book that came out earlier this year. Bendis' Uncanny X-Men run was really cool. And it leads us up to other Bendis news. He's coming back. That's right, the return of Brian Michael Bendis. And the return of Donny Cates, another great Marvel author. How about that for number 2? Last but not least, number 1. The continuing greatness of Geoff Johns. One of our GOAT writers, Geoff Johns, is firing on all cylinders with his Ghost Machine stuff. Geiger is fantastic. Geiger, written by Geoff Johns and illustrated by Gary Franks, is a masterpiece. He's put out 4 of these trade paperbacks and a great deluxe edition. Second deluxe edition is coming out next week. He's got my favorite current story going, Redcoat Volume 1 and Volume 2. They're just fantastic. This is Geoff Johns and Brian Hitch, a great illustrator. The stories are great. And he keeps introducing new people. He's created a whole new Ghost Machine universe. There's Rook Exodus, which is also great. This is Geoff Johns with Jason Fabok. And it's great. It takes place on a whole different planet, but yet it's still part of the universe. He's got Junkyard Joe, who also appears in Geiger. And I'm pretty sure will show up in Redcoat. Junkyard Joe is about a robot, but it's emotional. And then you've got Geoff Johns doing horror, along with Ivan Reyes with Hyde Street, which is a crazy book. Hyde Street is really different. And we're talking about Ghost Machine, so let's also mention The Rockefellers by Tamaki and Manuel Paul, which is about a family from the future that are being hunted, and there's a whole mystery that's being unveiled. Rockefellers really good. What Geoff Johns is doing is very cool. That's number 1 of the things I am thankful for in 2025. But let's include a 1A. Which is things I am thankful for in 2025. I'm thankful for you. All the people that have watched my videos, all the people that comment, all the people that have subscribed or followed, everybody who likes anything that I put up. You'll never know what it means to me, the amount of pride that has brought me. And as my audience grows, it makes me feel really special. What you guys in the comic community have done have changed my life. I think you've changed a lot of people's lives, and I thank you for that. So there you go. The things I am thankful for in Letter 44, Joshua Williamson, Warworld, and all the Superman stuff. Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman, Omar from Near Mint Condition, the Batman Omnibuses, my annual reads, the Nightwing Omnibus, the best omnibus of the year, X-Men Blue and Gold, Brian Michael Bendis' omnibuses and his return, and Donny Cates' return, and Geoff Johns and Ghost Machine. That's what I'm thankful for. What are you thankful for? What did I miss? You guys let me know. Go ahead and comment on it. You know I love your comments, and I love to reply back to them. I want to thank you all for watching and invite you to watch the next one. Thank you so much. I'm Ray, ChubbyRay Comics. See you next video.